Chapter 7 of the book of Isaiah is one of the most contested passages in the history of religion. It begins with the prophet's challenge to King Ahaz. Ask for a sign. Ahaz refuses, and Isaiah utters the famous words, "Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Immanuel." It is the word virgin that has become the sticking point. Christianity reads it literally, pointing to the birth of Jesus from the Virgin Mary. Judaism holds that the original Hebrew uses the word Alma, meaning young woman, and understands the prophecy as referring to events in the 8th century BCE, when Jerusalem was threatened by two contemporary kings, Rezin, Aram, Syria, and Pekah, northern Israel. But there is a striking detail that is rarely noticed. If you follow the logic of the prophecy rather than only its words, it unexpectedly echoes the biography of Jesus. Before the child knows how to refuse the bad and choose the good, the land will be deserted by both its kings. Isaiah speaks of an infant who will grow to childhood and live through the fall of two kings. Read in the light of the New Testament, a curious parallel emerges. According to the Gospels, after Jesus' birth, his parents fled to Egypt, a tradition that links them with Jewish communities in Alexandria, one of the largest centers of the diaspora. They remained hidden there until the death of Herod the Great, traditionally dated to 4th or BCE. After Herod's death, rule over Judea passed to his son Archelaus. The Roman Emperor Augustus appointed him ethnarch, underscoring Judea's dependence on Rome. Archelaus ruled roughly from 4 BCE to 6 CE. Archelaus's reign was brutal and unpopular. Josephus writes that he suppressed uprisings with bloodshed, and on one occasion about 3,000 people died. Persistent complaints from Jews and Samaritans reached Rome, and Emperor Augustus removed Archelaus from power. In 6 CE, he was sent into exile in Gaul to the city of Vienne. After that, Judea was governed by Roman procurators, the era of Pontius Pilate. So the infant Jesus literally lived through the fall of two rulers who threatened his family. First Herod the Great, then his son Archelaus. After the second ruler's downfall, the situation changed radically. Authority passed directly to Rome. Yes, in Isaiah's historical context, the prophecy spoke of different kings. But the figurative sense, a child who survives the removal of two rulers, unexpectedly resonates with the gospel story. Biblical prophets rarely spoke as if giving a straightforward historical timetable of where, when, and who. Their language is imagistic, multi-layered metaphor, condensed meanings. A single prophecy can have a literal sense in the context of the 8th century BCE, a symbolic or typological sense in relation to the life of Jesus, and a spiritual interpretation for believers in various eras. This is a feature of the ancient Hebrew tradition. Events repeat, rhyme with one another, and are actualized in new circumstances. For Judaism, Isaiah is speaking about the immediate political threat. For Christianity, he speaks of a distant future and the birth of the Savior. Both readings can be held at once, and that is one of the Bible's strengths. It lives on several levels of meaning. If we set aside the familiar quarrel over the word virgin and look at the image as a whole, we see a prophecy about a child who outlives two rulers and a subsequent change in the fate of the people. That is precisely what happened with Jesus. He was born in the time of Herod, returned from Egypt after Archelaus's fall, and Christians associate his name with Immanuel, God with us. Prophets did not see only their own time. They saw patterns in history that become intelligible centuries later. Interestingly, Jesus himself treated prophecy in this multi-layered way. His words, "I did not come to abolish the law or the prophets, but to fulfill them," are often understood as mere observance of ancient commandments. But the Greek word translated fulfill, plerosai, does not mean simply to carry out formally. It means to fill with meaning, to reveal depth, to bring to fullness. Jesus did not annul the old texts. He revealed in them hidden levels that had previously been unseen. That is why Isaiah's prophecies can be read not only in terms of the literal circumstances of Ahaz or the debate over the translation of Alma, but also in the light of the historical journey of the infant Jesus, who lived through the fall of two kings. In this approach, a prophecy is not confined to one century or one event. It acquires a long life, reverberates from age to age, and manifests itself in different layers of history.